This story I'm bringing to you was sent to me by Ashton Lewis and is coming out of Connecticut, where you have these two look like they just crawled out of them caves today. Brothers out of Connecticut, whose names are Matthew and Michael Lemelin, who back in June this year had attacked these black teens, chased them down, and then stole their bikes. Mind you, both of these guys are in their 20s, and the kids who they took it from are in their teens. I think one of them was 13. You have to be complete and utter weak sauce to attack and prey on those who will be deemed weaker than you. And what in the world were they going to do with their bikes? I mean, I could think they were probably going to try to sell them, but if they were just taking them just to take them, then let me get into it. Two Connecticut men face a slew of charges after they reportedly ran a group of black teens off a road. So they were in their car when they did this and shouted racial slurs at them. On Monday, June 22nd, authorities obtained an arrest warrant for Matthew and Michael Lemelin, the brothers ages 27 and 28 respectively, and were arrested that day and charged with the risk of injury to a minor and second-degree reckless endangerment. Matthew Lemelin also was charged with second-degree intimidation based on bigotry or bias, second-degree breach of peace, and sixth-degree larceny and third-degree criminal mischief. The incident was investigated as a hate crime. It took place at around 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, June 21st in Manchester. Three black teenagers ages 13, 14, and 15 told authorities they were riding their bikes down Manchester's main street to a convenience store when two men in a car began to follow them. The teens said they were headed to pick up diapers for a family member. One of the boys, when a car tried to run them off the road. One of the boys claimed he was almost struck by the vehicle. One of the men reportedly got out of their car and shouted racial slurs at the teens. He also chased them and took a bicycle after the teens ran away. The group hid in the bushes and called 911 for assistance. No injuries were reported. Manchester police were able to identify the suspects based on testimony from the teens and witnesses at the scene. They located the car used in the incident at a residence but could not contact the home's occupants. The brothers are being held on a $150,000 bond and are scheduled to appear in court on August 18th. Christina Torres, mother of one of the victims, demanded justice for her 13-year-old son and his two friends. These are children, and something needs to be done because they should not have to fear for their life. They should not have to fear for their life, and my son was in a bush fearing for his life, and we need justice. This incident was the realization of lecture she's given her son about being black. I've always told my son that you have to work 10 times harder because of the color of his skin, and it pains me to tell him that, but it's the truth. We need justice, and we need to work to ensure incidents like this don't happen to another group of black boys. Samantha Bartone, the fiance of Michael Lemelin, told NBC Connecticut her partner is an upstanding citizen and not a racist. She's on code. Oh, look at this. We support Black Lives Matter. So apparently them having a black friend or adopting a black child wasn't going to work. She couldn't say she was in a relationship with a black person because clearly her man is white. Bartone placed all the blame on Matthew Lemelin, who is the brother. Michael never would have said anything like that. Matthew is from Florida. Obviously, they do things differently. That's funny. That is funny. But she got on cold for her man right quick, but threw her boyfriend's brother under the bus. No, they're both just as bad because they were both in the car. If he really wanted to stop it, he could have, and he didn't. They were both yelling them racial slurs, and they were both involved with taking these children's bikes. That could almost be boosted up to first degree, but I know they don't want to push it that far because they need to actually prove this actually happened. But the fact that it's being investigated is a hate crime because most times they won't even do that. But you can just look at these two and just tell that neither one of them is up to any good whatsoever. Like I said, to take something like that from little kids when they weren't doing anything to you. And mind you, both of these guys are near 30, and the kids that they mess with are half or less or more than half, almost more than half their age. So I hope that they both get dealt with accordingly.